Yes, we have all our speakers here, so let's start. We have some questions in our chat, and also I have some for you as well. So my first question will be to OTP, Budapest Bank, and Contest. So, what was your primarily strategy when you were launching these beyond banking services for the SME customers? So, was it the customer attraction acquisition, or this was rather for the loyalty and retention of the existing customers? I remember that Budapest Bank mentioned that this portal is available, Bupa portal is available for both either prospects and existing customers. So please, I would like each of you comment on this. And for the existing customers, which percentage of your customers are using the platform at the moment, your services? Yes, Norbert, would you start here? Yes, Norbert, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Bupa's customers portfolio is at building up phase at this moment. Our activity definition is reflecting to 5 main features what I talked about, except assistance service. If all of them are actively used, it means we have 4 stars customers. If the customers using only 3 features, it means they are 3 stars customers, etc. Bupa has its own CRM strategy, which is focusing to upgrade the customers. And at this moment, activity rate is around 33%, but we accept a higher rate around 50-60%. In terms of 4 stars customers.
Gergely, what about OTP Bank?
Our strategy was initially to offer new services for the clients. I mean, this really invoicing services. So right now we have 2 types of customers. One of them who are OTP Bank's customers, and they connect OTP e-biz account to their OTP internet bank account. Then, of course, they are the more valuable for us because they do also banking, not just invoicing on the system. So for them, we have a special pricing. We ask some like €3 per month for this service, and for the other type of clients, we only offering invoicing solution. Of course, in the background, we have a kind of strategy that we would like to reach other clients to choose OTP Bank because they have more features that they can use if they switch to OTP Bank account. But actually, this is a kind of not that very successful strategy so far, so to be honest. So right now, basically 30%, so what I said, 1/3 or 30% of the clients are using actively. And those actually, even for the clients who are registered for invoicing and registering invoicing, and also 1/3 of the clients who are using also the banking features of the platform.
Gergely, and
so it's roughly 8,000.
I have here a question from our attendees in the chat. So when the OTP EBs will be available in the networking banks in other countries, so where OTP Bank is present?
It's a good question. It's in the strategy. It's not going to happen in a couple of days. As Katalin showed, that Rome wasn't built in a day. Right now, we are focusing on having some more clients in Hungary, being a little bit more successful, but at the same time, we are investigating. And what I can tell is there are a couple of countries where OTP Bank is located, where there is negotiations has already been started to introduce this solution. But actually, as Katalin mentioned, since the background and the backend system is Child India, which is easy to develop and handle and connect to banks, because we have already a good prototype, how we can, I mean, if we can call our solution or Budapest Bank solution that, so any kind of banks can easily be reconnected, and then the services, even from our side or from Budapest Bank, I guess it would be very easy to compared to other big projects, of course. I mean, very easy. It's not like 1 or 2 days, but in a couple of months or half year or a year it can be done. I mean, it's not like if you want to develop a similar solution, for us it took until it's very very clear. It's for working efficiently, and all the services that are there. It took like 2-3 years. So that's the like half 1 year versus 2-3 years. It makes sense.
Thank you, Gergely. And I will come back to Katalin in a while, but now I would like to ask Sibyl, what about Contist, and actually is your tax service solution is connected somehow with e-invoicing application?
Right. So at first, yeah, thanks for your question. So when it comes to the question you raised earlier, we opened up our service to our existing customers in a sort of a beta phase. And after the processes around taxes were stable, we opened it up also to new customers. So basically, with the service, we are open to both existing and new customers. When it comes to e-invoicing function, so basically we will, in our solution, also build an invoicing function, because this is basically the last building block that will allow our customers to go away from their, own software and accounting software, right? So we will embed an invoicing software also into our services, and yeah, this is the plan, and we will deliver on that one by the end of the year.
I see. Okay, thank you, Sibyl. And Katalin, I would like to ask you here, how do you see how you can deploy such a payment and e-invoicing ecosystem in other countries here in the CEE region? And what I also would like here to add that this feature that you have just will focus maybe attention of our attendees, that what I like about your solution very much is that having this opportunity that you not only can issue as an SME customer an invoice in the system, in the application, but also to receive invoices from your counterparties and pay it by 1 or 2 clicks on the platform. And also the request to pay solution which you are planning to implement, this is also a very crucial thing for the SMEs in the context of faster payments, instant payments, and covering financial gaps, especially now. So Katalin, how do you see this can be implemented in other countries as well?
Now it's getting easier and easier. Working together with the 2 banks, we have also collected a lot of experience and developed our platform. So we have almost kind of a box product which can be deployed and used as a prototype, and then each bank in any country can launch its solution within a couple of months, I would say. What Gergely said, like 3 to 6 months, depending on how the bank proceeds. It's really, I think, a feasible implementation timeline. So, yeah, we have the backend like fully customizable, and we have also now a customizable front end, which makes the customization and tailoring it to the bank's needs much more easy now than like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So I would say, yeah, a couple of months is a feasible implementation time. And for the technological integration, we are also working on the developments, how to connect to developers, accounting software. So basically the infrastructure, the APIs is ready, and we are working continuously on that, but we are happy to serve anyone.
Thank you, Katalin. We have one more question in the chat connected with the e-invoicing, and from Svetlana Zikic. Do you have an idea of connecting and offering option of factoring services for e-invoicing? Actually, we have some examples here in the CEE region of implementation of connection factoring and e-invoicing with e-invoicing applications. So this is possible. So maybe Katalin and Norbert and Gergely, if you would like to answer here, do you have some plans in the nearest future?
If I can start.
Yes, please.
I can say yes. According to our strategy, we are planning multi-product features to show our customers in the future, and I think it will be happening not in a short term, but in a mid-term future, and we are planning a similar solution for our customers, because this opportunity, which is based on invoicing and payment, can establish the opportunity to bring other new services as well. I think it will be happening gradually, but according to our future plan, it will be happening.
Thank you. Okay, so do we have any additional?
If I can,
yes, Katalin.
yeah, sorry, Elena, if I can add. So we also started discussing with some factoring companies who see value in having access to invoice data. So I think this will happen in the next 1 to 2 years with multiple solutions on the market, because it makes sense, and invoicing interoperability is coming into practice in Europe, in the whole world. So it's going to happen, I think, in the next couple of years, definitely.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and my next question I would like to address first to Adi and then also to our panelists. So, Adi, my question to you is, could you also give some examples how can you cooperate with the banks? And also please comment, because you have your own SME customers on the platforms. What is their percentage of the active users there, and how you actually motivate them if you do something here, how you motivate them to use your solutions more actively?
Okay, so our product is a subscription-based product. It's a SaaS product, so by definition, the majority of our customers will be users. Otherwise, they would cancel their subscription. So they do come into this specific set of feature set with a intention in mind, let's call it that way. But normally they would have just one out of a whole bunch of different feature set that we could offer them. So if they came in specifically for enabling their business logic, so payment packages, end of month balance, automatic billing, all of that part of our product. So they were thinking about payments. They might come into the system, and through the internal discoverability that our system has, they would find they can also use it to retain their customers, that they can also remind them, let's say if they're a yoga studio that they haven't been in for a while, and send them a coupon or congratulate them for their birthdays. So it's a gradual process of using more and more features out of the entire feature set that we have. What we're doing specifically to encourage that, first of all, everything is really well built into the feature set is well built into the ecosystem. So, for example, if I am again a yoga studio and I'm offering yoga classes, and I can introduce an option to prepay the class, buy a package of 10 classes for the price of 9, then I might have come in with the scheduling, class management, booking in mind, but I will immediately start using payments and finding that business for them, and completely random, if I may say. Now, we're also through our webinars, and this is your question about partnerships. So we can use our product to upsell and, cross-sale services from the bank. So for example, we are working with some banks who would want to use, as an initial kind of entry point, they want to use our quote to invoice to online payment capability. And then on top of that, we would then help their clients upgrade to the rest of the capabilities. And what that means for the bank is that over time they get greater, first of all, a good beyond banking customer experience for their clients, which is kind of the obvious reason why people are coming into this, but also they will be getting a good transparency, good visibility into data. Because if we are able to share with them anything that business does, that we know how many customers they have, we know how often they come in, we know how they pay them. If they pay them cash, we would know that because they're tracking it into the system. So we have this ability to give them data to then upsell, cross-sell their own services, and also have a risk management aspect to it. Because obviously, if banks are offering funding to a business, then they're literally invested in their success. So, for so many reasons, it would make sense for them to also invest in getting them to use the digitalization tools.
Thank you, Adi. If I may ask here also Norbert and Gergely comment here, do you have some motivation schemes or are somehow SME relationship managers or maybe some digital teams in the head offices are responsible? Do they have some KPIs for motivating and engaging customers use your platforms, your solutions more? Gergely, would you start? Yes, Gergely, please start.
You can start. Okay, then. Yes, we try to offer our solution together with OTP Bank product. So actually, we try to incorporate and then work on with the team of OTP Bank's SME managers, if we can call them. So we talk with them, and then we try to include and build into their KPIs. Like right now, according to regulations, they cannot sell the product. They can just offer to the clients, and this is what we work on. What are the reasons how they can convince and motivate the clients that this overall solution is much better for them to use and to integrate their own platforms and own softwares to this platform than using separate platforms for the separate solutions.
Thank you. Norbert?
Bank, Bupa is built in incentive system of small business advisor. And more than 50% of the new customers are coming from Budapest Bank branch network, and it's a very important channel for us. It's offline channel, but this is the best place to talking about and to introduce a new solution for our customers beside online channels. Small business advisors get every information which is important about Bupa. Bupa, they know, they were educated, and Bupa is sold in a Budapest Bank branch network.
Thank you, Norbert. And the last question, which I will read now from the chat, so I would ask you to please comment shortly, each of you, all the panelists, from Charles Gamba. So banks are usually very risk sensitive to invest in startups. How do you support with your tools starting business? Can it help small businesses to get better financing options? So Sibyl, let us start from you, and then Adi, and then Katalin and Norbert and Gergely. Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, thanks. First of all, ourselves, we are sort of a banking services provider. So we are ourselves providing not loans to the customers, but an overdraft. And this is because, I mean, we know the customer, so together with our partner Solaris, we are offering an overdraft to our customers. So basically, our customers don't need to look outside for, you know, financing options. And also for freelancers, the loans are not so attractive as the overdraft or small business lending or small business leasing stuff. Other than that, with our new tax service, of course, we are getting the finances of our freelancers in order. And of course, we are offering also some facilities and some features with which the customer can then ask for a loan because his finances are sorted out. He has a P&L and current P&L at every time. So I do expect our services to be an enabler and the service to make it easier for our customers to go out and make an impression to outside parties that their finances are fine. So yes.
Thank you, Sibyl. Adi, would you answer here?
Yeah, I think it ties together with the win-win situation of digitalization, because if that business is fully adopting a digital platform, then they are able to share that information with the financing partner, as well as, you know, stay connected with that partner through APIs to help them maintain that trust and that knowledge of what's going on in the business. And I do think, again, given the fact that there is such a strong incentive for the banks to actually digitalize small business for that exact purpose, banks should reward businesses who have taken on technology. So if I had to choose from a risk management perspective between a business that did not adopt technology and a business that did, then it would make sense that I would reward them with better rates, easier, less bureaucratic way of applying for financing, et cetera, et cetera. And we do have, there are quite a lot of companies in this sphere either connecting directly to the bank through a set of APIs like we have, or partners that enable that, like our friends at UpSWOT, that are basically allowing the small business to connect any small business app that they have to the bank's dashboards to see what's going on with them. And again, it's just something that I think the banks should prioritize when it comes to how they communicate with their small business clients.
Thank you, Adi. Katalin.
Yes, I think banks can build better risk models using invoice data. So if you have like customer and supplier invoice data, or if you have access to this data, then there will be a better risk model for you. So it will be easier to finance companies with a short credit history. So I think that is one part of the application of invoice data. On the other hand, what could be a great product is dynamic discounting, which could be applied by large companies, provided by banks or financial service providers, so that small companies as suppliers would be paid earlier. I think that's the other part of the solution, because if you are a small company, Then you need liquidity. If you generate some kind of revenue, you want to get that revenue on your bank account and not wait like 30 or 60 days to get paid. So I think invoice data and access to invoice data would contribute significantly to provide better financial services for SME companies, especially the startups.
Thank you, Katalin. Norbert and Gergely, would you comment shortly, please? Yes, Norbert, would you start?
Newly founded companies like startups are served by Budapest banks as well with lending and non-lending products. And in the future, Bupa can help this process to shorten with helps of digitalization, like invoice factoring, what we talked about previously. And I'm sharing Kata's opinion. Invoicing will be the key for financing smaller companies in the future, and the digitalization will be a key factor as well.
Thank you, Norbert. Gergely?
Then just 2 sentences from me. We definitely can. I mean, this was the idea why we tried to or develop this solution, because we very much believe that if we have invoice data, then we know basically everything about the finances and about the business activity of companies, even if they are startups or big companies. So we try to analyze data, and of course we will need to connect it with other banking services like online onboarding of the clients, as you mentioned earlier, factoring and online loan application. The point is that, I mean, right now, and as a subsidiary of OTP Bank, we prefer to offer OTP banking products to the clients. But together with all the services what we have, we very much believe that as for the clients, it's very much returning the investment, and it's an overall better service than having the same solution or different solutions from different service providers. So definitely there is a place for that, and startups can be better off with this digitalization of this segment, of this banking segment. Sorry, just...
Yes. Thank you very much, Gergely, and thank you very much to all our panelists and speakers now. Thank you for your contribution, and I invite all of you to continue the conversation on the ecosystem and beyond banking in the ecosystem networking zone. And now we'll be back in a minute for the next presentation. Thank you, and stay with us.